Привет из России! С вами Bear is this. Bear here, channel update, big news. Pay attention. Well, they've got on really well with the road actually, should be finished quite soon, but that's not as important as what's going on inside here. Let's go inside the cave. Let's talk about recent videos and also a big news. Big news is going to be Patreon. Let's kick off on that subject first. Okay, so last week, just before you saw the update video on the hind fuselage, I launched Patreon. I was debating about doing it. My actual plans were to launch it next year, but I'm coming up to 5,000 subscribers. That was my goal for this year. So I've achieved my 5,000 subscribers in 21. Thank you very much as well for subscribing, watching. But this is about Patreon. Why have I decided to do it? I've decided basically, well, let's see, I've been doing YouTube now 3 years, and I've gained a lot of knowledge from, looking at the analytics and what works in videos, etc. And I've come to the conclusion now that basically YouTube's an entertainment platform, always will be. So the videos that are entertainment based, and I'll keep on making them, they attract lots and lots of views, likes, comments, etc. on YouTube, and I don't even need to speak. So the aircraft video, in particular the Sukhoi 33 and this one, are proven to be popular on YouTube. That won't change. Those videos will go on. Now, at the same time, everything where I've been explaining stuff or maybe talking about some philosophy of painting styles, techniques, etc., they aren't doing very well on YouTube, to be honest. And I don't think they do very well on anybody's channels. I think the maximum you get, if you're just a talker on YouTube, a model talker, you're going to get about maybe 2,000 views maximum. That's what you're going to get from people that are interested in the subjects. Now, Patreon, I've launched it, and what I'm going to do is move the talking type content onto Patreon. So what I'll do is basically, it's already up there. Henry, thank you very much. One of my first Patreons. What you see there is you see me talking about what I've been doing. So it isn't all this closed in, nice camera work. It's talking about how I've got up to that stage, basically about the problems I'm encountering. Also, I'm posting up nearly daily information about builds, and it has to be more to do with what you want to see in terms of content. So that's really what Patreon's going to be about. So what I'm offering is, there's 3 tiers on there. The base level ones, $3, and you see everything that's posted on there. $5 is going to get you live stream. Now, the idea with Patreon, and as more people come on board, is to move live stream content onto there, but I need new equipment, so I need a significant amount of Patreons to be able to do it, or else it just isn't worthwhile. But at the moment, 1 Patreon, and it's full of content. I'm getting videos up, exclusive videos, so they won't go on YouTube. They stay on Patreon, and they're going up basically as things happen. So I'm trying weekly, but maybe even more than weekly, to explain things as they happen. So there might be a very specific explanation on a new technique. And for an example, on the hind, I came up with a new way of creating the raised riveting. So I can explain all that to you and to your benefit. Also, the main thing there is it's a 2-way process. So all the Patreons can ask me questions, I can try and answer them. So it's really the interaction. So I'm hoping that the people that have, interested in more technique will go onto Patreon, and we have our community over there outside of YouTube. YouTube is people liking, commenting, and I'm really appreciative of the people that have supported me. There's a bunch of guys that are always there for the live videos, just as tonight is like a live premiere. So it's always great when I've got the feedback from you guys. You really have supported me. But moving that onto the Patreon, if you pay for it, that means that you get to ask whatever you want. And my duty to you is to answer you as well. So it's not about me basically polishing my ego off and, just showing you nice pictures. It's about what you want to get out of content-wise. And also you'll have a much greater influence on upcoming builds, upcoming projects, etc., and what's discussed in detail on that Patreon. But the content on YouTube is sort of going to remain basically the same. There's going to be a change. I will do 1 or 2 more talking type videos where I explain, but I was thinking about voiceover type videos, and then when you look at them, you look at what people are doing, they're just repetitive, basically. They're just saying the same things time and time again. So the videos that have got no sound on them, just the music, they do really well because basically anybody can watch them, from Japan, Indonesia, Philippines, Germany, everybody can watch them and you can just see what's happening. So that sort of tends to be the format. Now, also on Patreon as well, talk about this. If you're interested in creating videos, and it's taken me a good, I'd say it's taken me well over a year, 2 years really, to get up to a point where I'm feeling comfortable with videography, so I can explain a lot of those aspects to you. Also, I can explain photography to you on Patreon. There'll be content about my background. There'll be a background about Russia. What am I doing here? Also, I'll talk a little bit about Abrams Squad and editing and magazine articles, and that will be exclusive to Patreon. So if you pay for it, you have the right to ask me, questions about what I'm doing, and I have the duty to answer you. So that is the forthcoming plans. Patreon. Let me talk a little bit more about what's going on in the channel. Okay, I'll talk about behind now. Basically where we are at the moment. So this is filmed 1 day after you've seen the last video. There's a lot of work to go into this one. Still forthcoming episodes. I'll split into maybe another 2 or 3 because the weathering is going to get quite involved on this one. And if you want to know, I'll go back to it. If you want to know the philosophy behind the weathering, all that explanatory type stuff will be on Patreon. Will explain how I've come up with the concept, what I'm doing, what it looks like. So anyways, that's to one side. More to come on the hind. We'll push on with that. That should be finished definitely before Christmas. Then in terms of what's coming next, I'm undecided. I really want to do something a little bit easier maybe, because that is it's been quite an in-depth build, and also the recent projects have been quite in-depth. Now, I'm thinking about this doing the BMD 4. Basically, not as a video explaining how to build the thing out of the box. That's pretty easy, but I'm thinking about doing a video about what are the steps to take to enhance details. What can I do to bring the details up out of the box standard? What needs improvement? What doesn't? Using fairly simple techniques, and then also go on to explain how to do a very specific type of camouflage masking technique as well on that. That's what I'm thinking about doing, but I might diversify. I'm going to, again, maybe I might cast it out to a vote. Depends how many people join me on Patreon, because I think those people will decide really what the channel will move in terms of video builds. But principally, we're going to keep with aircraft armor. That's the hope anyway. So probably in terms of maybe even a vote going up for the next armor build. If not, it'll be that one. So basically that's everything for the update. Any questions, anything you want to know other than what I've said about Patreon, please make your comments below and I'll try and answer them, and then you can sort of see what you'll get in terms of benefits if you join that platform. So this is Bear. I'm out of here, and see you next time.